Hello.
All right. Hopefully we're live. Hopefully this time it's working. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. I have my co-host with me, unfortunately, once again, Dakota, and we are joined by a very special guest, a reoccurring guest, Rusty Walrus. Welcome back to the show, Rusty.
Yeah, what up? I feel like I see you once every year or two, so it's good to be back and talk to you and catch up. Dakota, I think this might be the first time I've ever talked to you, so
I've been
long time coming. I can't wait.
All right, let's get right into it.
Hey.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
All right. So it looks so far so good. I think we're live. I think we actually
We live, baby. We live, baby.
Once we did it right the first time. So this is wonderful. Yeah, Rusty, welcome back. Like you said, it's been like I feel like we talk every year, which for most people I think is enough to talk to me. It's like once a year, and it's like that's good. That's
for sure.
Well,
yeah.
The cool thing about you is you were one of the first ever people to kind of reach out to me, and I think I had like 100, 200 subs or something on YouTube. And I was so nervous the first time I talked to him, like, oh my God, a podcast wants to be on the show. Like, cause I've been on the NASCAR weekly podcast, I think before that. And that was super nerve wracking, but even going solo one-on-one, I'll never forget that, man. So I owe you a ton for kind of giving me that shot.
Yeah. I went on the NASCAR Weekly podcast. Rusty was there with me. That was the first time we ever met. And after the conversation, I just kind of threw it out to everybody on the show, like anybody want to actually come on the show. And Rusty actually hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, I'll come on." And so everybody, I'm good friends with Eric, so credit to Eric. He's the one that got me on that. But of everybody on that show, Rusty is my favorite. He's always been my favorite. So I play favorites. When I'm like a dad, I'm going to have a favorite son. Rusty, you're my favorite.
Dude, I remember I was like a young buck, and I was like just starting to get into YouTube and stuff. And then I was like, Rusty, man, you're super cool and nice. And he was like, hey, man, just keep it up. Just keep doing stuff. And then here I am now. I mean, you fucking Rattlesnake gave a shit about me a little bit, but it's awesome.
Oh, hey, well, I see we already got a comment. What up, Venom? He hits me up all the time on Twitter. So, hey, shout out. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Of course, the first comments we get are for Rusty. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, this is the Rusty show.
This is the Rusty show. I've always stated ever since I first met him, Rusty is the most positive, the nicest guy in the entire NASCAR community. I stand by that until the day I die.
Well, maybe it comes with my old age, but every time I get to come on a show, I'm just gonna have fun no matter what. And if we're talking about NASCAR or whatever, I'm just here to have fun and kind of laugh with you guys. So I'm gonna make sure we're having a good time while I'm out here. That's what it's all about for me. Are
you that old, Rusty? Now I'm like, holy shit, how old is he?
I don't want to expose myself, but yeah,
because you don't look old. Now you're throwing me off. Now when we're offline, I'm gonna have to ask. Because
I bet if you take off the glasses, I bet it's like
yeah.
The glasses.
If I take off the hat and take off the glasses,
who's that old dude?
Shows hairline, the receding hairline. Then we're like, okay.
Yeah, we lost the hair about 20 years ago.
It makes sense now.
Well, welcome back, Rusty. We're happy to have you. Hopefully you actually allow people to watch the show, because you're the guy that brings the audience. Everybody loves Rusty. I wanted to talk first. We're going to get into the race, but before we get into this, when we first talked, you were just a YouTuber, right? I mean, were you doing streaming at the time, or were you just making YouTube videos?
Oh, I don't know the timeline, but I was definitely recording videos in the back, or in the driver's seat of my car. But you guys kind of know what, if you're familiar with me, my content was essentially just pulling out into the parking lot, holding my camera up and talking to a camera.
It was the best videos, dude.
I loved it.
Well, and kind of a story behind that, just for everybody watching. I wasn't doing that to get views, subs, clicks, whatever it was. It was just me kind of going through some self-development. Like, I was terrified to get on camera, terrified to do a podcast. I couldn't even get on the phone and talk to somebody. So that was just pure self-development practice, just putting my face out there on the camera, on the internet. Cause I'm sure you guys can relate. The first time you put your face out on the internet, it's kind of scary.
I'm the opposite. I think I'm beautiful. I love seeing my face. When we do these, I only look at myself. I'm like, damn.
Dude, the first time I did it, I was like, Hey, I feel like a loser.
Like going back watching my old videos, it's like, oh, it's so bad, it's so cringe. But like, that's what you needed to kind of go through to like kind of like be comfortable and be yourself. So if anybody's out there watching, that's what my journey's all been about, is just trying to be comfortable in myself on camera. So that's what we were doing. So we were doing videos in the parking lot, and then we kind of slowly transitioned over into live streaming a little bit with like NASCAR Heat 3, NASCAR Heat 4.
Right.
So that's kind of where the content headed. And then we kind of in the last year or so, we've kind of taken a step back from YouTube, and we're just kind of focusing on motorsport games and NASCAR Heat 5 and the future to come with that company. So it's been quite the journey.
And I remember even back then, I had you on my show. I mean, this is probably like 2 years ago at this point now. And I was having you on to essentially defend NASCAR Heat to me, because I've always been a big time hater of NASCAR Heat.
Hey.
See, look, everybody, even our own fans are like, damn, you got Rusty on. He's the best. So even like I've always been the hater. Granted, I'm the hater of everything. I was always the hater of NASCAR Heat, and I had Rusty on, and I was just giving it to him. I'm like, this is what I hate about. And he's just like, hey man, it's a video game. It's just all fun. And I was like, damn it, Rusty, you're right. And he made me hate it a little bit less. So I actually, Rusty, it'll make you happy to know I recently purchased NASCAR Heat 5 specifically because Dakota wanted me to play. So I saw
Dakota streaming it the other day. So yeah, thank you guys for getting involved. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying, and maybe in this episode, this might be fun. I've been playing it a whole lot. That's the problem that I have with video games is when I download one, I just can't stop. I'll do like a career mode and be like, shit, now I'm addicted.
That's me with Fall Guys and Among Us. Like I think I put like 1,000 hours into both those games the last couple months.
Yeah, stay off drugs and do NASCAR Heat. But maybe that's something we can discuss in this episode, because I got a lot of gripes, or at least recommendations for that. Okay, that I want to pass along. So if I can get it in someone's ear, that's the route we'll go. But yeah, you started with just doing YouTube videos, and I thought it was great content. You no longer have your YouTube channel though, right?
Channel is still up. I just kind of unlisted all the videos because it's like to me it doesn't reflect kind of who I am as a person now. And like, who's gonna go back and watch me talk about a random New Hampshire race from 2019? Nobody. It's like that content that was
Walrus,
the best.
2017.
It's like I mean. Like I think about all the videos I made, and I'm only maybe happy or proud of like maybe 2 or 3 of them. So it's like the other ones, they can just they don't need to exist. I mean, they're still on my channel, so I can put them up whenever I want. But yeah, that was just that was part of a different chapter in my life.
So are you still making content?
Not for myself, mostly for NASCAR Heat and motorsport games. That's where we're at right now. So, maybe one day, but I'm putting all that creative energy towards the game. Okay.
Do you live stream yourself then on different like services or whatever you call them, platforms?
Yeah, I kind of switched over to Twitch. My plan was to kind of take clips and then upload those to YouTube, but I kind of just kept it casual on Twitch, and I think we will return to Twitch pretty soon. I've had some like kind of technical issues with my new PC, so it's just been kind of a bit of a headache, but I think we'll be back on Twitch here before you know it.
Wait, do you play NASCAR Heat on PC?
No.
I was like, holy shit, that is some really intense stuff, if that's the case.
Well, I mean, the cool thing about it on the PC is like it just looks way better than like my PlayStation. So I actually enjoyed it on PC, and I got a little bit of like extra kind of things some camera controls to take screenshots. So I enjoy it, but
oh shit.
No, I just use the PC to kind of do the capture card and broadcast and everything. I don't play any games on PC really.
Are you pretty good?
No. I used to be a lot better than I am now, but I'm telling you, I got really rusty. And every time I show up in Joey Stone's multiplayer lobbies, I get my butt spanked. These kids that are out there every day, they're talented. Like I fell way off. Like I'm like, if there's a lobby of like 30 drivers, I'm probably in that 20 to 25 range. Like I'm not good.
Me too. I'm with you. Yeah, Dakota likes to stream. He's been streaming on this channel. He's not very good either. So maybe you could race with us.
The league I'm in is like nothing but really good kids that play like every freaking day.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
The dad who's like, I'm gonna play tonight and get my ass whooped.
No, I still enjoy it though, because when you go live in those big lobbies, it's just complete chaos. But when you work your way to the front, you get some really good racing out there.
I love when he says, "I'm the dad that gets to sneak away and play sometimes," and then I hear his daughter yell "Daddy" in the background. I'm like, he's not joking when he said
I muted the mic for a reason.
I saw you mute. Yeah, he has the cutest daughter, but yeah, she likes his attention. That's for sure. Are you racing in any like leagues right now, or are you just doing it for fun on your own?
Yeah, NASCAR Heat 5 is strictly just for fun. I probably play it at least once a week, I would say. I'd occasionally dabble in either iRacing and I did Dirt Rally 2 the other day. It's just kind of casual stuff on the side. I'm not really invested much. Like I'm sure you've seen Moonhead, Travis Brown, when he puts on his big Twitch broadcast, like live on MoveVision. I love being a part of those. I wasn't talented enough to make it in the Premier Series, but I still tune in and watch that whenever he's live. And I think he's going to be live here tonight shortly. So yeah, shout out to Moonhead.
I'm trying to get him on the show. He was actually supposed to come on, and then something came up, and neither of our.
I think he was at Martinsville.
So.
Yeah,
he was at Martinsville. So I keep trying to get him on. We're trying to work out our schedules because I love his content. Now I'm like, you got to come on my show, man. You'd fit on my show perfectly. Like we're just, the content I think would match up well with him. So I'm trying to get him on the show. Give him a shout out. Be like, you got to get on the Chairgatin show.
I'll vouch for you guys. You guys are good.
I know you will. When Rusty says something, I know he'll do it. That's the thing. That's why I love Rusty. He's the coolest guy ever. So I guess first and foremost, we need to all play NASCAR Heat 5 sometime together. Because now that I have it.
Okay, good night together.
Is it embarrassing to say I do like the casual mode on my career mode?
No, not at all. That's where I'm at. Like there's like that like there's like the 105 is the top difficulty. I put that thing down to like 90, 95. Like
I'm most lap sled.
Yeah, I'm like all the way up to the Cup Series. I started my own team and stuff, and I'm like, well, if it's too hard, I'm never gonna get the money. And I'm like, I keep getting past my power for my engine's like 80. It sucks. So I don't know. There needs to be cheat codes so I can just get unlimited, like the Sims. I just want to have unlimited everything.
I like that idea.
Yeah, and then get bored of it within like 2 days. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So that's what you're doing now. You're strictly with like NASCAR Heat. So is that with 704 Games, or how does that work?
No, Motorsport Games is say relatively new company. They actually just acquired everything from 704. So, and Motorsport Games is about to publish their first. I don't know what I could say on here, but Motorsport Games.
You don't have to get
coming in.
That's okay. Well, you don't like to break news here.
They're about to publish it's going in the future's bright. So they did not make NASCAR Heat 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've made some really, really good hires behind the scenes, hired some, I'm telling you, brilliant developers. I can't say enough good things about the director, man. Like he's so like, they got some really talented people working behind the scenes right now. And I think the whole world and the community are going to love it.
You may or may not know this, or you may or may not be able to tell me this, but is the next NASCAR, whatever it'll be called, I don't know if it's Heat 6 or whatever, will it be on PlayStation 4? Because I do not want to buy a PlayStation 5. I'm too broke. I can't afford it right now.
You know, we have bills out here.
We got bills. Bills.
If I were to guess, I think PlayStation 4 probably has the biggest user base on any console in the world right now. So I would assume maybe it's a safe bet to probably put something on that. I don't know. But
PlayStation loves to bend me over there, so we'll see. I mean, NASCAR Heat might be like, yeah, we'll put it on PS4, and then PlayStation's like, no, you won't. Yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with. I'd love for it to come out on PlayStation 4, but I've been playing a lot of career mode in NASCAR Heat 5 because I just bought it because Dakota wouldn't leave me alone about it. So I bought it, and I'm doing career mode, and I have some gripes. It sounds like it's a new company, so they're going to be doing things a little bit different. Is that correct?
Yeah, to be a safe bet. I don't know what I can say. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. I feel bad, man. But they did not develop NASCAR. They didn't develop the previous NASCAR games. They published the last few, but they did not develop them. And like I said, they hired a new development team. So you can kind of put the pieces together.
So there's a bar, and at least they have something to aim above.
Yes, and the cool thing, I'll say this:
down here.
Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop.
Well, we can talk about your guys' wish list, but that's kind of the best part about my job is I get the community feedback from people like you, and I go straight to the dev team. So I'm telling you, they hear everybody, and they
I got a long list.
Dude.
They see comments everywhere. They're all tuned into the community, and I kind of help like share like some of the major kind of like passionate voices and the popular like kind of opinions of what people would like to see. So I'm telling you, they're tapped in and tuned into the community.
All right, dude. So this is what we're gonna do. Anyone that has any opinions in the comments or any suggestions, shoot them in the comments. I'll read it, and if it's good, I might put it up. Dakota, do you have any suggestions for a future NASCAR game?
Well, everyone I know is like, dude, this game, this glitch, that, blah blah blah. But growing up as poor white trash, I had a.
Growing up? You still are.
I had a PlayStation 2, and I didn't have internet, so I played the shit out of all the career modes. And of course, you got the throwbacks of old games that were just so good, like NASCAR 06 or 07. But like to me, this is like the only game I play, and it's amazing. Like I'm like, dude, I had like a PlayStation 1. Seeing these graphics and stuff, I'm like, this is incredible. I don't have a computer. Like PlayStation's all I got, and I see people bitch and complain. I'm like, dude, you should be happy the TV turns on when you press the button. Like, I love the game, but Rusty, I get there's some spots where I'm like, this could be fixed.
Rusty, your company absolutely loves Dakota. He should be the like fan council because they'll have him on and he'll be like, you guys got internet here? Dang, okay. I
love the game, man. But people that play every day hate it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I kind of criticize it, but I mean, they're so passionate about racing games and NASCAR in general. Right. But I think the accessibility of that game, I'm telling you, when I join like an online server, I'm having the time of my life. It's not sweaty. It's just fun entertainment. And I'm telling you, I'm laughing every time I play. So I think that's probably the best compliment you could give it is just the accessibility, how fun it is to like a casual player. And that's what I really enjoy about it. And I think Dakota, that's what you're getting at there too.
I think also I should preface this by, I think people like myself that are very negative towards it, it comes from a good place because it's like, we want the game to be great because we played a lot, like we want it to be perfect and we understand it's probably never going to be there, but like, we do play it a lot. So it comes from a good place. Like we are enjoying the game itself, or else I wouldn't even talk about it. But it looks like Nathan has a comment. Of course he does. It's Nathan. What's he say? If your nose gets chopped by another, lead dude should spin the I don't know. Okay.
So it's kind of a physics question saying just like when you make contact, the car should react different. I hear you.
Yeah.
If you're coming out the corner and you get under, dude, and someone hits you, you're losing. But instead, actually, he should probably spin.
Yeah.
Another thing, I guess, when it comes to like, this isn't really physics, but let's say in career mode, when you have rivals, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe it already does this, but I create rivals with specific drivers, by the way. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, I will turn those guys the second I get a chance. Like, I'm like, oh, baby, you're right next to me. And they are always rivals with me. They're tweeting at me like, oh, you got to turn me to get a win. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, the fake tweets and messages.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. So my only issue is I feel like they don't drive me differently, though, race to race. And I kind of wish maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of wish they would try to turn me. Like I started a rivalry for a reason. I want to see them a lot more aggressive, really putting it on me every single race. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be kind of cool, not to mention when there's a lapped car when they're just they don't go high. They're just running the same line. Yep. You're like, all right, if this was real NASCAR, anybody other than David Starr would go up high. If you want to be really realistic, you could have David just still running his line regardless. I think all of hey, look, I'm a huge Whataburger fan. I can say that. All right. Only my people can say that. Us Whataburger people can talk about David Starr. I think
I was Team Whataburger for life, but now I'm on a little bit of a break until Noah gets the first win of the year, and then I'll be back on Team Whataburger. But for now, it's like, if they were up here, I wouldn't even,
I totally understand. I understand the issues. And even as a Whataburger fan, I'm like, oof, that hurt a little bit. Because not to mention, like, maybe, 5 minutes before that happened, I even tweeted, I was like, love that Whataburger car. Like, so happy to see that Whataburger car. And like 5 minutes later that happened, I was like, ugh.
Delete.
Yeah, I think Eric even said something. He was like, nice, sweet, man. Good timing. I think at the end of the day, all the kind of issues I have are a lot in the career mode. Like I'd like to see just more in the career mode. I have this idea, right? And I don't know if this is even possible. So maybe, I know you're not a developer or anything, but maybe you can shed some light on this. I've had this idea for a while.
All right.
When it comes to designing your car,
This is one thing I was gonna say.
Like the paint scheme. We're talking about the paint scheme.
The paint schemes.
I feel like there should be more options. Like
I wish not even that. So here's. Did y'all ever play like NCAA 14? By any chance?
No.
Nah.
Okay, that was the best sports video game of all time. So you missed out. But it was the last college football video game before the lawsuits and all that stupid shit.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that stuff.
Right. And so what they did that last year was it's by EA Sports, and it was called Team Builder. So if you wanted to design uniforms, stadiums, players, everything, you actually went to a website called Team Builder.
Ooh.
And then it imported it into your game. And
That's
you
pretty
could
cool.
download other people's stuff that they built online. And so when you do it like on a desktop, it gives you so much more options for creativity. You know what I mean? Almost like iRacing, not to the extent of iRacing. That's like a whole software, but just something a little bit more. And I always thought that would be such a cool idea, not only for paint schemes, but racetracks, you know, just have this website that essentially allows you so much creativity that automatically like uploads to your console.
Yeah, kind of like what Trading Paints is going on right now. Just to have like a community section of like if there's a cool design that can get upvoted and you can download it, that'd be really cool. I don't remember which NASCAR game it was, but you could actually like, I feel like it was 10, 12 years ago. You could design it on your computer, upload it to the website and download it, I think, into your locker or something in the NASCAR game. So like, it's crazy how years ago you could even like put your own custom.
That's the thing. It was like years ago you could do it. Yeah. And so I know the technology's there. Granted, at least what I was talking about for NCAA 14, that was EA Sports. You know, it's a little bit different. That's like the Coca-Cola sodas, you know, they're the biggest. So maybe it's a little unrealistic for a smaller company. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think everybody will agree a little bit more customization would be nice for not only for like the driver, but specifically for your paint schemes. I think pretty much everybody can agree on that one. We have another comment. He says, can you confirm or deny right now?
Can I confirm all three series? I hate to say kind of a canned message, but any 2021 content plans will be shared as soon as we can, or as soon as they're like made official, and they'll be on the social media. There'll probably be a press release. It's going to be a big deal. But unfortunately, I can't really I can speculate, but I can't really confirm or deny anything.
You're gonna have to break out the red jacket.
Yeah.
You can, but yeah. Good question. Good question. Good question.
I did like that they added, what was that, NASCAR Heat 4 when they added dirt? I think that was 4.
Yep.
When they added, I really appreciated that, and I liked having a couple different series.
I like how
when
you did career mode, you started dirt late or late model racing, and then you're at a work up. Something I always thought would be cool is kind of not EA Sports games or whatever, but if they had a weather option, is this race cloudy, sunny? Is there potential rain coming? I don't know.
Could the?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, could the track weather even be kind of dynamic,
or
where it
the
starts
sun
off
setting?
The
1 and 2 kind of deal.
That'd be cool.
So
that would be cool.
Nathan had another comment, and actually, I think Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think was it Dakota or Nathan
keyboard, dude.
That we discussed. We actually discussed this. I thought maybe it was Nathan. It was Nathan that I discussed this with. I thought this is a pretty good idea because
I like that idea.
We were talking about DLCs, and NASCAR Heat loves their DLCs, which is fine. They put more work into it later on. You have to pay for it. But essentially what his point was, which I thought was interesting, is do a DLC specifically for your favorite driver and not for everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about Kevin Harvick. I think Kevin Harvick is a pussy. I don't want his paint schemes. Actually, I will take that back. Kevin Harvick honestly does have some of the coolest paint schemes. Even though I don't like him as a driver, his paint schemes are sweet.
Bush has been going all in. I love Bush for that.
Right. So bad example. But but it is a good point. I'm an Austin Dillon fan. I would love it if I could just pay that DLC price. But I don't, Michael McDowell has a new paint scheme. I'm sorry, I don't care. If I could get all of Austin Dillon's paint schemes, though, I'd be much more inclined, or even some Chase Elliott paint schemes, or specific drivers. That's kind of a cool idea.
do like $5
I know.
a driver. You could, stack it up, or instead of just being like, here's 20 random ass paint schemes of cars you're probably not even gonna play.
No, I totally hear you. And we kind of dabbled in that a little bit with that Jimmy Johnson download pack. It had kind of the tribute schemes and some of Jimmy's cars. So we sort of got in that direction. I agree with it. Even coming from a fan perspective, it'd be cool if there was like almost like unlockables like you did back in the day. Like I'm a Tony Stewart fan.
Yeah.
How do I unlock this Tony Stewart scheme? I would grind to get the Tony Stewart.
I remember those.
I love unlockables. Yeah, I actually I get this all the time. So people like me for about 5 minutes, and then they hear me talk, and then they're like, now I hate this guy. So I totally understand. You're right. You won't like me if you listen to me talk for too long.
You could unlock like Talladega at night, or this track at night. You could do tracks.
That would be sweet.
You could do the races that like didn't actually have. It was like a fantasy deal.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get down that road.
Yeah. Here we go. He legit won't buy a DLC because, I mean, I'm kind of with him. It's like I'll look through a DLC and be like,
he's got a point.
So I get one paint scheme I like and the rest that I'm never going to use. Like, that's not really something I'm interested in. But I think this goes back also to being like, I'd be willing to pay for this software or something for my like PC that I could design all these things. If they were like, hey, it's another, even $20. I think I would be inclined. I would be like, you know what? That's not a bad deal, because I would spend so much time customizing shit on there.
If it's kind of. I think what you're getting at is if the customization of the paint booth was a little bit more developed and you could create whatever you want, that could really open some doors for people that want kind of their favorite scheme.
My face would be all over every paint scheme. It would just be my face. Like, that would be Corey LaJoy would be jealous, essentially. Here's a good question, talking about schedules coming up. Is Kentucky going to be in the game? Stuff like that. That's actually a good
throw
point.
Some pass tracks in or something
when they're off. Even Kentucky, it's just off the schedule just now. That's a tough one, because it's like it's so
Chicago.
Well, I suppose the $1 million question is like, what's going to be even on the 2022 schedule? What if NASCAR brings these tracks back, or what if they get? I don't know. I don't know what the developers do. That's so tough. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it would be awesome to have every single track in the world, even like North Wilkesboro, just any old
about
track.
To bring that up, actually.
That'd be cool.
So it's like
that'd be cool.
I think the thing to bank on would be every track that's on the schedule currently would be. I think that'd be a reasonable expectation.
And I think this also, once again, I think this could be solved by my little PC thing, because in things like Team Builder for NCAA 14, that game came out in 2014. Granted, PlayStation has just now ended the Team Builder and all that stuff just this year. But all the way back from 2014, you could use this thing called Team Builder. And so what people would do is they would just grind and build full teams. Like, I mean, I'm a fan of the University of Houston, right? And so in 2014, we were all right. We weren't that good. But in 2016, we, beat Florida State in the Peach Bowl. We were incredible. But the game was over by then. So what people do is they actually go in and customize every team, this exact stats, where they're from, and you can download those teams and play against other people with the 2016 team. And so essentially what I was thinking is, I mean, there's fanatics out there. I would probably be one of these people where even if the game doesn't necessarily offer the track, that somebody would go in, if you can customize tracks, and essentially just replicate the track and allow people to download it.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting.
And I don't know if I should. I mean, I got to give a shout out to the modding community. Currently, right now, there's some good modders out there that can put like old school paint schemes in the current game. So there is some workarounds. But that would be fun to do for future games, is to have that customization to give that to the community, because it adds endless amount of like life and to the game. So I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put you on the hot seat, by the way. I had you come on and we were just going to chat, and I feel like now it's turned into being like, what are you going to do?
Tell us what they're doing. Tell us what they're doing.
I think whoever's tuning in for me is probably wanting me listening to see what I'm going to say.
I'm so sorry, Rusty.
I'll tell you what, I live and breathe this like 24/7. I'm on Twitter. I see all the DMs. I see it all. So I love it. I'm telling you, I genuinely love this stuff.
You were not in this position when the last time you were on the show, so I feel like it was not the same. Yeah. We were just chatting, and now
in the big leagues, boy. In the big leagues.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I think customization is what NASCAR fans want, because
Yep.
what other sport? I know, I'm a fan of basketball and football and baseball. I wrestled in high school. I'm a fan of like so many other sports, but I don't know another sport that cares so much about like paint schemes and weird things like that like sports fans shouldn't care about. So in terms of like a NASCAR game, I just think customization alone, like if they just focused so much energy on customization, NASCAR fans would lose their shit. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
They hear you. Trust me, they hear you guys, and that's all I could say.
No, no offense. I know 704 Games like did what they could. It was a really small company, and they did what they could, and I was impressed with what they produced. But it's just there was a lot that could have also been done, I felt like, and maybe they didn't have the capabilities because they were a small company. So I am excited to know that there is this new company kind of coming in with this new energy and listening to the fan base and wants to give the fans what we want.
Yeah, and to follow that up, I think I should come on once we start to announce some of the plans, because right now it's kind of like we got to build that trust on what we're working on, and once we actually show and prove, and we can actually really deep dive into everything, I think that's going to be a fantastic conversation. But yeah,
hey, write that down, sign it.
Oh yeah, I'm sending you a contract. You're going to come back on.
And Tony, anytime, especially when things start ramping up here, I would love to come back on and talk with you guys.
Do you have like a rough timeline of when they will start making announcements for anything?
I cannot. His lips are sealed. Lock it. Throw it away.
Okay.
As we all three know, NASCAR fans will never be pleased. They'll never be happy.
That's
and
true.
They'll always bitch and complain.
100% Dakota. You're right. We will always find things to complain about. So
that's every fan base. They're passionate, man. I love it. Right. I love it.
Like I said, the complaints for NASCAR Heat. Honestly, I made a YouTube video about this where I just kind of bitched about NASCAR Heat 5, and it's my most disliked video I've ever made. It has like hundreds of views, and it's almost all dislikes.
Hey,
and I was like, it's so weird. I thought people would agree with me, but apparently not. Apparently, I'm the only one that has opinions on NASCAR Heat.
Dude,
but we appreciate what you have to say, though.
I know people that are like, I'm not buying 5. It's just 4 remade. And I'm like, I'll buy every NASCAR game that comes out just because I love NASCAR. I don't
Dakota's
give a shit.
Literally just describing me.
I'm buying the game. I'm buying the game because the new NASCAR game came out. I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Better victory lane celebrations. Yeah. Personally,
Venom is getting wild out here, dude.
Yeah.
No, he's passionate. He's passionate.
Pre-race. I don't really know how pre-race and post-race inspections would work in a video game, because like, what are you gonna do? Cheat and then like hope to not get caught? I don't know.
You want to cheat?
Right, exactly.
Well, if you're Chase Elliott or Martin Truex, they just ding you every week and send you back.
Damn.
Victory lane celebrations could be cool. Like if you get to like choose between like options of like fist pump or like wave the flag. I don't know.
Dude,
that could be
you
cool.
remember?
Yeah.
You remember the post race? I think it was like 06 or so, 07, and like, it go to the garage and some guy'd come like shaking his fist at you, and you're like, hold me back.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss those back in the day.
If this new company allows you remember how like in the old hockey games, yeah, you remember like Wayne Gretzky
Blades
hockey?
of Steel?
I was thinking of Wayne Gretzky hockey where you could like fight.
Yep.
If this new game allows drivers to fight, I'll give them all the money in my bank account. I don't care how much I have. You just take everything. That would be the funniest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, and I think Nathan here once again really sums it up perfectly.
That should be like a bumper sticker.
I'm the same way too. I've never hate change, and I hate the way it is. Yeah,
I've never heard that. Yeah, it's perfect. Brilliant.
That is perfect.
That's awesome. No, I'm really excited though about what you've been able to do, Rusty. I don't think they could have gotten a better person to do it. You're the most positive person in the industry. So good for them, and good for you for being in this position. And yeah, you'll definitely have to come back on when more news is released, and we can kind of deep dive into these things. Just for the audience to know, like, We had no intention of talking about this when he came
Yeah,
out.
this was all on the fly.
This was on the fly. I was like, by the way, what about NASCAR Heat?
Yeah. I said, hey, Rusty, what do you do for work?
Yeah. So I apologize to Rusty. He was not prepared for this.
No, this is good context. I'm telling you, people are going to tune in and want to know. I'm telling you, even people in my company might be like, what does Rusty say? Like,
Hey,
does he leak and stuff?
All right. Well, anybody at their company, we love Rusty. Don't promote him. Whatever you pay him isn't enough. Promote the man. That's what I say.
He needs that bump.
No, I'm treated well there. That's all I can say. I love everybody there. I'm living the dream.
I see that jacket.
Oh, I've had this for a while since we started
Don't
the
be
YouTube channel.
bashful.
I
see those headphones.
I actually got the hat in the mail today. I was super excited about
that hat's new. You always rock that jacket though. Yeah, I know
Big
the jacket.
baller.
I got a Dale Senior one and I got a Jeff Gore one. This one, I love this one. Not to show off, but I love like the logo on the back. This is one of my favorite things ever.
All right, y'all ready to crack into everything?
Yeah, I think Nathan's right. We'll leave Rusty alone.
Our fans are getting impatient.
They're like talking about quit talking
Even
about
the
Rusty.
fans are like, all right, leave Rusty alone. Damn, this is not why he came on.
To put a bow on it, exciting times are coming, and this is just we're getting close.
I can tell how excited you are about it, and it's making me excited. Because I can tell it's like everything's on the tip of your tongue. You're like, I can't say it, but it's gonna be good. I promise. Just it's almost like you have an exciting gift to give us or a secret, but you don't want to tell us quite yet.
I want to scream. I really do.
I know. I'm excited now. After this, I'm gonna go play NASCAR Heat 5 just because of it.
They need a Rusty Walrus paint scheme.
I'm just gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna be like, I can't wait for Heat 6. Yeah,
you guys saw that 78 car. Dakota, I don't know if you saw that. We had my name on the back of that car.
I was there and I saw it, and I was telling my dad, like, hey, you see that like little red and RW logo? I was like,
I know that guy.
I know that guy on the internet. I was like, dude, it's so cool. I made sure, like, I was looking, like, I was like, that says Rusty Walrus on a race car. Like, I made sure I looked at it like, big time, motherfucker.
that's the brilliant minds at Motorsport Games. That's
hell yeah, dude.
That's one of the top smartest people I've ever met. So yeah, good things are coming on the marketing side. We're heating up.
I'm a diehard motorsports fan. What is it called?
Motorsport Games.
Motorsports Games. I'm a diehard If they have merch, I want some of their merch just because. Just because they work with you.
It's coming. They shipped me a huge swag box. They got me fully decked out. So I wish I had it next to me, but
I'll buy the merch. You send me a link, man. I'll buy a hat or something just because they're working with you.
Next time I'm on, it's gonna be fully Motorsport Games, fully whatever else is coming.
Dude, send it.
And I swear to God, I'll buy some of the merch if they sell it, and I'll wear it while we talk. Just so that company knows how much I support them now because they're partnered up with you.
I should, I mean, out of all the people I've kind of done podcasts with, I should just send everybody that's ever helped me along the way. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to do that. So thank you.
Hey,
we're going to get this swagged out.
If I don't make the cut, like I said, I'll purchase it. It's okay. And then here we go. Nathan really wants us to talk about the race. So we got to get into the race.
All right, let's crack in. We're going to go cup racing and then we'll get into that other BS. What did you think, Rusty? What did you think of this Martinsville race we just had yesterday?
Hey, it's just another one of those Martinsville classics. The thing the thing that made me so happy was the comers and goers. We had a short run car and Denny Hamlin just pulled, and then you had the long run car, Ryan Blaney, that would slowly reel him back in. It's like, that is NASCAR. Just let these guys race. Let the natural flow take place, and you're going to get a beautiful race. Like, it was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful NASCAR race.
And I'm not even one for I go to see the wrecks, but the wrecks, it was spicy. The whole race was like, oh shit, or so-and-so blew a tire. Brett Keselowski got ran into. Oh, there's a big one on the backstretch.
Daniel Suarez is on fire.
Yeah, dude. Oh, we had to throwing shit at
Daniel Suarez is standing there watching his car on fire on the wall.
Dude, it
one of the coolest pictures I've
ever
seen.
Yeah, that was a badass picture.
And I had to explain this to my wife too, because she saw the huge wreck, and she remembers Ryan Newman, and we've seen some bad wrecks. But the good thing about like short track racing and wrecks is like it really isn't as dangerous. I know it's still dangerous, but they're not getting up as much. So when you do see like guys just kind of get spun in Martinsville and Bristol and stuff, you're not like worried about them. Like they'll make it out of the car. It's something different, And so it does just like Dakota said, I'm not watching races for the wrecks, but when it's tracks like this and I see wrecks, it is kind of exciting. You're like, oh shit, all right, this mixes everything up. Like,
yeah, the first thing I'm like, ooh, a yellow. What's gonna happen?
Right,
here?
who's coming up now? Like, who's out? Who's still in? Yes, it is.
Who's in what lane on the restart?
Yes.
Right.
That's old school too. That's so old school. And guys are fighting on the outside line there. I love that. That's old school.
Yes. It honestly, like I fired up NASCAR Heat while they're racing. I had a little TV next to my TV, and I was like, I gotta play Martinsville and NASCAR Heat 5 now. I'm not even joking. I told you how much I hate that game. It made me want to go play Martinsville. That's how excited I was. Yeah, and we did hear some chirping. Me and Dakota, we got a little group chat with some of the other guys from the podcast. Rusty, you're more than welcome to join at any point. But we heard a little chirping from, some people, won't name names, saying that the race is too long. Rusty, do you have an opinion on the length of this race?
I mean, that's obviously the hot debate right now is the length of cup races in general. So right off the bat, that's an interesting dialogue. But Martinsville, they had the red flag, and
agreed.
I promised I wouldn't do this when I got on here. You got this. You got the competition. Well, okay. First off, the race was delayed from the rain. You're already it's already delayed. You got competition yellows. You got stage yellows. You got wrecks every couple laps. You got a red flag, more cautions. It's to me. And then this is my big complaint. And you're cutting to commercial. It takes you out of the race, out of just the investment. Your mind is locked in on racing, and then they cut to commercial, and it's like your mind starts going, well, what else could I be doing right now? You're on your phone, you're getting distracted by something else. And that's my problem with kind of modern NASCAR is it's not really the length. It's just kind of keeping you engaged for the while it's on the show. Like when you watch a Formula One race, I think that's like the perfect length, but they don't cut the commercial and they make every lap feel important. So I think Martinsville used to matter every single lap. And then the stage deal kind of threw strategy and a lot of things out the window.
This kind of goes back to what I was saying. I don't know, Dakota, if this was the last episode or the one before that. I can't remember. I think it was the one with Eric Estep. So 2 episodes ago when I was talking about like a streaming service possibility for NASCAR.
It'd be huge.
It would be huge. You would never cut to a commercial break. I would pay annually for it. I know almost every NASCAR fan that watches every week would pay annually for a streaming service to not cut to commercials.
One thing, I was watching the race and I was watching the Masters, and I was kind of watching golf. And the Masters had its own little app and its own streaming thing, and you could choose what to watch.
I watched the exact same thing.
And I was watching it, and I told my buddy Saturday, I said, you know what's so fucking cool about this app? I said, it doesn't go to commercial. I said, it'll play some, you're watching the Masters with some piano, and then it would go right back to, the next tee shot. But I was like, it is what it is with, NBC and Fox. But if NASCAR actually had their streaming service, real fans are going to pay it, and I mean, if it cut that out, I'm totally down.
And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but as a guy that does work, I will not name names, but I do work for a sports streaming service in advertising. What you can do is essentially you have what they call a skin that's around, like a box around the thing, and you just change that out, and it can even be a graphic. It can move a little bit. Busch Light, let's say there's. Dude, I have so many Coors Lights in front of me. Well, let's say it's Coors Light, on the side of the screen. It's like a little Coors Light with some ice.
Do some little animation around the trim or something.
Right. And that way you're paying for the annual subscriptions, which you can, let's say you're charging like $150 annually. I bet people would pay that to get every single race, $150 annually. And then on top of that, you're selling ads for God knows how much, because it's NASCAR, just around, the screen. I don't know why you can't do it.
The only problem here is you're going to have all these old heads be like, internet, Wi-Fi. I'm not, how do I work this contraption? You're going to have old fan bases and be like, I don't know how to work that.
I don't know, though. I will say for the company I work for, our largest streaming service is dirt racing. And that's a lot of old guys in the middle of nowhere. And that is our biggest streaming option. And granted, maybe that's because it's the only place they can go to get it. It's not on cable television or anything. But I mean, I don't know. I think we underestimate people. Like my parents use streaming services. I think the market's there. And if NASCAR just teamed up with somebody that actually did that, I think it would be a smash hit. And that it doesn't mean you have to take it off Fox or
Yeah.
MSNBC or anything, you can still have those. As
If
well.
you want the unsponsored or like the uncommercial full
Exactly.
coverage,
Pay
you can pay for
annually.
this.
Exactly. And that goes back, the reason I brought this up is because what Rusty said is, you kind of get taken out of it. You get taken out of it on the commercial break. Not to mention Fox Sports. We can go down this whole rabbit hole of Fox Sports commentary. By the way, before we start bitching about them, I do love Clint Boyer in the booth. Every time he talks,
this has been their best year. Like
every time Clint talks, I'm like, thank God he's there. Like, thank God Clint is
was
there.
a great
I love
addition.
Yes, him with Jeff, like they balance each other out. You know what I mean? Jeff was a little stale. He needed Clint Boyer there.
You might remember, the Xfinity race. They said, "Oh, sorry for the technical difficulties, but let's go to commercial real quick." Like they messed up with the what the hell was going on? We were on commercial for like 30 minutes. Then they came back and said, "But a quick break," and it was like, dude, I just watched commercials for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nathan, I agree. I think everybody loves Clint. Honestly, he was the best addition Fox Sports could have made. And we kind of thought that was the way. Like he did the podcast with like Barstool Sports, and he's always been a big personality, and you could kind of see it. But now actually seeing him in the booth, it's like, no, this was a slam dunk. This was the right move. But now we can bitch about Fox Sports and their coverage of these races because
They've always been so bad, but this year they're trying, dude. They're doing way better.
To anybody else, did it seem like they just missed things? Like I was watching the drivers on the sides, like the pole, and I'm like, wait, what's happening on that car back there? Like
there was a lot of times I said, "Ooh, contact off 4," and then we watched 3 more laps, and I'm like, well, what the hell? Where was the contact off 4?
Where was the contact?
Here was that replay of that contact I told y'all about a minute ago, and I was kind of like, dude, man, like. I know this shit's hard, but this is y'all's job. Like, cover it.
To kind of cut them some slack. I don't know what they're. I don't know the first thing about production,
Rusty's
but I'm
coming in positive. Rusty's always. This is why I love Rusty on my show. I need him to balance me out.
I'm learning a little bit here, kind of on the broadcast production side. They might be understaffed. They might have people in Charlotte. They might have people at the track, and maybe blending those groups of people. It's not working, or they don't have the right people in the right spot. So it might be this kind of skeleton crew that's kind of just one person's doing 5 people's jobs, like what it used to be back in the prime of NASCAR. Might be one guy, just pressing buttons. I don't know.
Like in the comments earlier, we always complain. Let's just be happy we're seeing race cars on a racetrack.
Well, that's why I love having Rusty on. Like I've had him on my show twice, I think, before this. Yeah, and he just balances me out perfect because I am so negative about everything. And he's like, to be fair,
dude, there was one episode I was like, man, all you're doing is bitching and complaining this whole time. Why are people watching this?
One episode. That's all of my episodes. That's what I do.
If I started this type of thing years ago, I would be on every show complaining. I would be just a hothead. I
don't believe you. I don't believe you. You are way too nice.
April Fools was weeks ago.
I'm telling you, once I because I was doing my previous job for 10 years, and once I decided that's enough with that part of my life, I'm like, I'm gonna have fun. Whatever I'm doing, it's gonna be kind of positivity going forward. So my previous life, I was super critical of NASCAR. Even in the prime of the sport, I was really on them.
Well, I mean, one example, and this is probably just because I'm an Austin Dillon fan, and maybe they did mention it later and I just missed it, but there was one point where Austin Dillon was 9th, okay? And nobody else probably noticed this because I'm the only Austin Dillon fan.
He was on the move Sunday.
He was 9th in the final stage. What was it? Probably like 100 laps left. He was 9th. And out of nowhere, he drops down to 16th. He drops down so quick that I'm like, oh, he's pitting, right? That's like, that's what you assume. No, he stayed at 16th, like for the rest of the race. And it was just stuff like that where I'm like, well, nothing else is happening in front of him. Like, why are they not at least being like, oh, shit, like Austin spun out a little bit there? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm an Austin Dillon fan. I'm the only one that noticed. But it just kind of bugged me because I was like, how come nobody else is saying anything about this?
I've noticed, I noticed they can't hit everything, but Austin Dillon was on fire. But it almost reminds me, because being a diehard old school Kevin Harvick fan, I watched Kevin start 27th, 29th, 30th, and work his way through the field. And at the end of the fucking race, they'd be like, "Where'd he come from?
Where'd he come from?
I've been watching him the whole damn race, you asshole." I've been watching them climb to the top 10 and climb through there. They're like, where'd he come from? And I was always like, I hated that. I always hated when they said that because I was like, all I'm doing is watching him.
To be fair, yeah, Harvick is the veteran driver out there. Even if his equipment sucks this year, you can expect him to climb his way up there. By the way, last episode, Dakota, we had Garage Guy Chase on.
Yes.
And he told me that I got to put money on Brad Keselowski. And I said, I said no.
I lost all my fantasy.
And I said no. I said Kevin Harvick,
but Jesus.
And I said Kevin Harvick, and Chase said Kevin Harvick has terrible equipment. And I said, yeah, but he's a good driver. He'll maneuver Martinsville.
Hey, P9 at Martinsville for Kevin in the 4 Ford. I will take a P9.
I'll take that too.
I will take that.
I said he's such a good driver. He's going to maneuver his way up. I know his equipment.
People love to talk shit on Kevin.
And I said in the episode, if you go back and watch it, I said I guarantee Brad Keselowski is going to get into a wreck.
You called it, bro. People be like, dude, Kevin sucks at Martinsville. They just replayed the other day on Fox. They were replaying like 07 Martinsville. Kevin finished 3rd. And I was like, no, Kevin is good at a lot of these tracks, but maybe him and Rodney don't have the right setups at some of these tracks. Yeah, but Kevin's good everywhere.
He's a talented driver. I think that sums it up, regardless of the equipment. Rusty, you're a Chase Elliott fan?
I mean, I respect the guy, and I think he's good for the sport, and especially his championship celebration tour between bringing the trophy and the car downtown.
Dude, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah,
and then and he was doing dirt races. Like Chase Elliott's been, I think, a fantastic champion for the sport, and to see his personality finally come out last year.
I want to see a little more pizzazz. I want to see more raw Chase.
Last year he had it when he gave Kyle Busch the finger, and then he does the Truck Series bounty, and he hits the bow on him. It's like that's the Chase Elliott we need.
That's what
I love that.
Yeah, I agree. Wait, so what? I thought you were a Chase fan. Are you not? What are you a fan of?
You know, I mean, I was a Tony Stewart fan, and I mean, you'll eventually relate to this, Dakota. But like when your driver is like starting to get close to retirement and starts slowing down, it's like, well, who am I going to cheer for now? Yeah, and I could never. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at Kyle Busch as early as like 2008. I'm like, I mean, I love him as a driver, but I don't like his personality. Right. So I'm like just desperate for anyone, and I kind of latched on to like Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, and then once Blaney got up in the Cup Series, I'm like, I'm pretty much Blaney's my guy because it's like, what else is there?
So Blaney's your guy.
Yeah, Blaney's my Cup Series guy.
I like
he's friends with Chase. That was close enough.
I like Blaney. He's in my prospects, but then I'm like, I don't want to walk around wearing a Menards hat. I got a Menards hat. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, because it's a whole I'm all about the number. But then sponsors come and go. I used to I'm like
the whole reason I'm an Austin Dillon fan. Literally.
I used to be like, I kind of like Kyle Larson, but I'm not wearing a Target hat. I'm not wearing a Target shirt. And it's kind of like that's how I am when I search for drivers. And when Kevin retires, I'm gonna cry like a baby, and I'm gonna go to as many races as I can that year. But I'm looking now, like who's these young guns coming up that I can maybe hitch my trailer to.
That's kind of partly why I mean, it's been a couple year story, but how I've been a huge Noah Gragson fan. It's like, and he kind of fell perfect. Like this last year, he kind of fell just for anybody that's desperate for a new driver. The way he was driving last year, and now he's talking trash and he's wheeling the heck out of the car.
Noah is what we need.
This podcast is a big Noah Gragson fan podcast.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we're all about Noah Gragson on this podcast.
We got plenty of Noah stories.
We love Noah Gragson on this podcast. He is what NASCAR needs.
Shout out Noah. Tag him in the comments.
Yeah, we like to see Noah succeed. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, I guess to wrap things up, so we all liked the race. Good job there. Rusty's going to come back on at some undisclosed point to discuss more of, the video game, whatever it may be called. Is there a name? Is it going to be like Heat 6 or is it undisclosed at this moment?
I can't tell you, bro. How many times you asked?
Well, that's what I said. Is it undisclosed at this moment? I gave him
NASCAR.
Hey, there has been some stuff that's been confirmed, and I do see a lot of rumors and speculation out there on Reddit, Twitter. They're digging in these documents, and they're trying to figure it out. So I see a lot of guesses. Nobody's. I should say nobody. That was a bad word. I see it, but we'll announce it when the time comes.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I honestly asked because I wasn't sure.
That's something we didn't mention.
You on the spot, but that is one thing that we probably should mention. First repeat winner.
The first repeat winner this year.
To be fair,
MTJ.
to be fair, it was only a matter of time. Like this, it was about this time where it was going to happen.
I literally was like, well, Hamlin's going to get it. We'll have 8 winners and 8 races to add to the story. And then
It's true. Hamlin would have been the one.
Well,
yeah.
I was sitting there. It's killing me. This is what I hate sometimes about Ryan Blaney, but Truex is right there. He's faster than Hamlin. He spends like 15, whatever how many laps it was to get around Hamlin perfectly clean, just absolutely perfectly clean. And as soon as he gets around Hamlin, he wins by 5 seconds. It's like, why do you wait? Why do you wait that long? Just go get there.
Truex
pass
is
it,
too
go.
nice.
Because it's Truex. He's too nice.
I like Truex, but like I like
He's
his.
Eric
I'm an old
Almirola
school
with better
Truex fan,
equipment.
but he's always like, whining about lap cars, whining about getting race hardened. He's not going to win the war. And I mean, it's like, dude, like put your elbows up. You got the beard. You got Bass Pro. We need Noah Gregson personality and Martin Truex. And Martin Truex is the best. I mean, like, it's just, he's so nice. It's like, dude, come on, be a bad boy.
Yeah,
for me.
extremely talented, a little too nice. I think it's fine though. We need the nice guys also. He's one of the nice guys.
I feel like we have too many nice guys.
We just also need a Noah there to balance him out. It's kind of like,
Dude,
I'm here and I'm a dick, and Rusty's here to balance me out.
Well, so Martin Truex shows up to his first Xfinity race in 20 years at Atlanta. He's dominating the whole race. He ends up going to the back, and he's racing his way forward. But Noah Gregson's got this tore up, junked up race car.
Yeah,
and
racing his balls off.
And he catches Martin Truex. Martin Truex is a Cup Series champion. Martin Truex is one of the best drivers in NASCAR history.
We saw it in turn 4, and he puts the bumper to him.
And Noah just moves him out of the way. It's like, Noah is a legend. Like, that's legendary to just get to the Cup champ and just move him. Dude, I love that.
Yeah, we were there. I was hitting Nathan like, because Noah got up to Martin Truex and just moved him. And it was like, oh, shit.
Rusty, as a Tony Stewart fan, I'm not surprised how much you love Noah Gragson.
You take the good with the bad with the ugly, everything comes in the package. I don't even need a race win. If and when he gets it, we're gonna celebrate. But I just love it. I love when he's
got the whole package, man. He's got the badass paint scheme, the 9 JRM, Bass Pro,
everything.
It's awesome. And when the thing is like where's Noah go from here? Like I'm kind of I see some possibilities, but I'm like, we got to keep this ball rolling.
It is true. Where does he go? That is a tough one. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I could see him going to the 1.
The 1 actually would make sense because Kurt.
It's a Chevy. Kurt. I think Kurt's out the door.
Yeah, because Kurt does the 1-year deals, right? He just does his 1-year deals now. Or Brad. I don't know. Is Brad does
He's
1 year?
Too bad. I just see him being too bad boy for Penske. Penske's not about that.
Well, yeah, Penske's bringing up Cindric, and then who knows what Brad's going to do after this year's up. But because I don't think DiBenedetto is going to be in Penske next. I
love Matty D, but it's almost like it's just kind of soured. It's like fizzled out. Like Matty D, we love you, man, but you got the ride, and we're still
that's true.
The same shit.
We're only thinking about the really good equipment cars. Like, I just hope he doesn't go to some shit car that just has an open seat.
No,
because that's how you ruin your career. I don't want to sound like a dick.
RCR started a third car?
Oh man,
that would be awesome. That'd be the dream.
RCR, first of all, needs to get their shit together. But I would love RCR to
Tyler Reddick finished 8th yesterday.
I know.
I mean, I know. Tyler Reddick he's in my prospects. Tyler Reddick is a wheelman.
Tyler Reddick has been in my prospects for a few years. I was so excited when they replaced him with Daniel Hemrick. No offense to Daniel Hemrick, but when they were like, "All right, sorry, Hemrick, Reddick. I know you're rookie of the year. You're done. We're bringing up Reddick." I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's what you need." What would you rather see, like the 31 or the 29, if it's RCR?
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I think the 29 might be done forever. If I were to guess, right?
Is it? Did they not own it anymore?
I just think it was a special moment in time, and I don't know. I think it was a one-off.
That's what they said about the 3. Come on.
Well,
you think they care about that? It's here's
okay. What if Noah races one more year for JRM, which I think is 1 year too long, and Truex I think his contract ends in 2022. Correct me, Nathan.
I think
Truex
they're working on an extension.
Bass Pro brings Noah Gragson up. and
But
hops on
RCR
wherever.
does Bass Pro also.
Well, yeah, Noah goes RCR, brings Bass Pro over. Boom, a Chevy Bass Pro. It's meant to
Okay,
be.
so we're saying Noah in the 31 with the Bass Pro RCR car.
33. 33.
Does RCR have the 33?
Well, right now Penske's running whatever car they're running, but 33 is just open. Remember, Clint used to run. 33?
Yeah, but
They
they replaced the 31 with the 8 at RCR when Hamrick came over.
Yeah,
because that was Ryan Newman was in the 31, and then they put Hamrick.
Bring
in
the
8.
31 back. Run the 30. Who cares? I don't know.
Just put him in the 31. I don't know. That's okay. We have one more question from Nathan, and then we'll wrap it up.
Who would go down as better? No champ driver. Martin Denny Hamlin. Ooh, very nice. Denny Hamlin. 3 500s. 3 500s. Who's got more wins? That's a tough one too. I don't know
that's what I was just. I
don't
like
know
it's
their
Mark
win
Martin.
count. I don't know
I
their
feel
win
like
count.
Mark Martin. Maybe I'm.
No,
crazy.
I take Denny. 3 500s, 2 in a row. That's it right there.
I'm going purely off wins here. I'm going to go purely off wins.
What's the count? Do I need to look it up? Nathan, comment back.
Yeah, Nathan,
Rusty,
you know
Rusty,
this.
Who
stuff.
do you think? Rusty, who do you think?
Rusty, who do you think?
I'm a little bit biased against both those drivers. I've learned to respect
They're
Mark
literally
Martin.
the same.
I've learned to respect Martin. I mean, personality-wise, I mean, I'm going Mark Martin, but Mark's got a legendary career with the Busch Series, the Cup Series. The way he went to all these different teams at the end of his career, came back and almost won a championship.
Denny Hamlin has 44 wins. Mark Martin 40.
Hey, look, and I am an old school Mark Martin fan. The first race car I ever saw in my fucking life. Sorry for the cuss words. I walk in Atlanta Motor Speedway for practice. I walk in Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm like 6 years old for practice, and the 6 Valvoline car goes by. The shredded one, the like blue, red, white. That was with the red wheels. That was the first race car I ever saw in my life. I think
I picked Mark Martin just out of like nostalgia, but now that I saw Denny's got more wins, I you know what? I'm with Dakota. I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin. He's got more wins. At the end of the day, he's not even done yet. By the way,
I used to hate Denny, dude, but like he's become a Mac Daddy. He's become a Mac Daddy. He's a little suave, like, and I just like
got those J's, baby.
The older I get, the more I respect him.
He's got a different energy this last year.
Yeah,
it's completely different. Denny Hamlin.
All right, one last thing, and we'll wrap it up. This has got to be it, though. We've gone over the time, but this has got to be it. What do y'all think about Denny Hamlin being a part owner as an active driver for a different team?
It's a little Tony Stewart-esque, but he doesn't drive for the team. What do you think, Rusty?
I just still don't know the dynamics between Joe Gibbs Racing and that 2311 shop. I mean, are they getting? Is it literally an extension of Joe Gibbs? I know they're saying it's not, but I mean, are they just getting the cars built at Gibbs and they're buying them from Gibbs at a discount? I don't know.
It almost feels like a little Furniture Row-ness, but not.
Okay.
It's Bubba driving. It's not Martin Truex. But I also think Denny's setting up his bed for when he's on his way out, which is probably coming soon.
Well, right,
and I
which
see him
I totally
retiring
understand.
11 and being full-time owner. That's what I'm seeing.
I totally understand that. I just personally, I think it's wrong. I think it's a conflict of interest. I do not think you should be a part-time owner while you're an active driver, especially for a different team. I think that's crazy. Pete Rose isn't allowed in the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own fucking team. And we're going to allow. Can you imagine if Pete Rose was the owner of another team while he coached one? I think that's just insane. I don't know. I'm the only one, I think.
So as a senior fan, I mean, he drove for Childress, but he had DEI. What do you think about that? That's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. I think if you're an active cup driver and you are a part owner of another team, I think it is a conflict of interest and should not be allowed. I think NASCAR does it because they're just desperate to have money in the door, but I do not think it is right at all.
NASCAR's a lot more lenient.
Because at one point in the race, Bubba Wallace happened to be leading because of pit strategy. To calm down, but he was leading. That's a whole other thing. He was leading though, and I think Denny Hamlin was second at the time, right? And Dakota, we were texting about this.
Yeah,
and we were like, what happened?
Did he move Bubba for the win?
Is he going to move him, or he's a part owner of the team? And I was like, this is exactly my issue with it. This shouldn't even have to be a question. If they're teammates, that's one thing. But to be a part owner of a team that's not part of the team,
I'm totally calling it.
I'm not okay with that.
It's gonna be one of the Talladega races, Bubba's gonna have that fast ass super speed.
Yeah, it'll be a
car,
Talladega race.
and Denny's gonna be pushing him, and Denny is not gonna pull out on the white flag, and Denny's gonna push him to a win or some shit, and it's gonna be a big storyline. Like,
well, because
Denny
Denny needs Bubba to win, like as a part team owner. You
Oh,
need
yeah.
that car to get
it's a
a
no
victory.
brainer. But I just told you that's how Bubba's gonna get his win.
I don't think it's okay. I'll stick by that. So,
Who knows?
all right,
All right.
Rusty, we're
I'm
so
so glad
happy
we
that you
did
came
this.
on.
Yeah. I didn't know how long we were going to go. I was kind of shocked we were wrapping it up after an hour because we could go
I could
2-3
keep
hours.
going. This is Matt's fault. I can
Well,
keep going.
we could
I
cut it
still
off
got
here
some
because I'm going to be back. We'll be
Yeah.
back,
Oh.
Yep.
and that we'll get a little bit of a cliffhanger here, and then we'll have some fun at the next one.
Can you give us any kind of like time frame, like a year, 6 months, like anything
Within this year,
within a year? Can you say
Well, I
that?
would say
you're gonna get him fired, dude.
no.
I'm not trying to
I
get
mean,
fired. I'm saying within a year. I'm giving you a whole year. You just say within the year or past
Next
the year.
April.
You don't have to say the exact, just within a year or past a year.
He's gonna be like,
As a rough estimate.
Blink
not-
twice. Blink twice for no, and
you know, I want to make a joke, but I don't even think joking about it would be
Okay.
would be appropriate.
The only reason I'm asking is for when I can get you back on the show. It's not to. I'm just wondering when I can get you back on the show.
I wish I had a little bit of more information I could share to kind of give you a little bit of hint, but I'll definitely reach out to you because I don't know how intimately you follow the account, but I'll reach out to you and you'll
Which
know.
account?
You'll
Your
know.
account or
The NASCAR Heat social account.
do you want to do all the shout outs real quick before we roll out?
yeah, man.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm pretty much on Twitter 24/7 under
Best Twitter.
It's at Rusty_Walrus on all social media, but I'm on Twitter. So if you want to talk NASCAR, I'm available 24/7. If you want to talk just about anything, I'll be there too. But also I'm on Instagram. I have a TikTok I don't use. We have a Twitch channel and YouTube. So pretty much any platform, it's at Rusty_Walrus, and we're having fun. So
What about do you
thanks
want to
again.
give a shout out to the gaming company?
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, shout out to Motorsport Games. We got the most brilliant minds in the industry, behind the scenes, marketing, the developers. Everybody is working towards an extremely bright future. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to start talking about it. I'm not just saying it. I see it. I believe it. I feel it. This is going to be a fun year. So I
love the energy,
let's
bro.
Go.
I love
Let's
it.
go.
I love it. You're the man,
As you're talking, I'm actually looking up the Twitter. They got a Twitter, right?
Yep, NASCAR Heat is the NASCAR Heat 5.
Oh, it's NASCAR Heat. It's not Motorsports Games.
So Motorsport Games will probably be that's going to be your official source for like anything news related of all their titles. So you'll see
And they have a Twitter, Motorsports Games.
Yep.
You're
Got
pretty
it.
much
I'll
like
follow
the
them.
pretty face. They're like, hey, we're making stuff, and Rusty's out here like,
Yeah, Rusty's got the prettiest face.
yeah, dude.
I'm the
It's
billboard
beard.
of
It's the
NASCAR
beard.
Heat.
All right, Rusty. If it takes too long, though, I'm gonna have to have you come back on just to bullshit again.
Yeah.
I just want you to know
Anytime.
that.
I'm telling you, anytime. I've never
Rusty.
said no to you. I've never said no to you.
Rusty, you have never said no to me. You have never said no.
Hey,
That's 100%
one
true.
plug we do with every guest. Rusty, what races you going to, and where can we see you at?
Yeah, are you going to any
Ooh.
races?
Yeah, where
Ooh,
we gonna see you at, dude?
You can for sure, unless things get kind of crazy, I can almost guarantee I will be at Road America 4th of July weekend.
Oh,
I'll be
shit.
camping out. I will be having fun with
Damn,
some
sounds
buddies, and that's a lock. I'm looking at the Indianapolis doubleheader weekend. I believe
the
Indy-
Roval?
the-
The Indy Roval?
So it's going to be Xfinity, I think IndyCar and Cup.
Yeah.
I thought Charlotte was the only
Indy road course, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I'm a
on.
Brickyard fan. So
I think
Rusty-
people are going to miss the Brickyard in the next year or two.
So
Rusty,
you're going to
you're not-
2 road courses?
Just the way it's worked out.
You're not coming to Austin?
So that's something I'm trying to work out. I'm waiting for them to announce whatever they got going on at that racetrack, because if I go to a racetrack, I need it to feel relatively normal. I'm not going to show up and they have me like, I don't know.
I totally agree.
Rusty,
I want it to feel normal.
Rusty, I've been offering this to everybody, and nobody's taken me up on this yet. This room that I am recording in right now is my guest bedroom in downtown Austin, Texas. If you come to the Austin race, you can sleep here. You got a queen size
You
bed.
and all 5 of
got
the
it.
buddies he's invited.
Yeah.
But
So
nobody
I got-
has accepted. So this is why I keep offering it, because nobody's accepted. I'm like, this is the best offer. Me and my wife have the full weekend passes. I have a bunch of Eric Eseps going. Everybody from that NASCAR Weekly Podcast is going.
Yep.
If you need a place to stay, You can sleep right here in our guest bedroom. We have 2 very cute dogs, and you can come with us to the race.
I'm sold. I appreciate it. I have a buddy that lives in Fort Worth. So whenever I'd go to the Texas race, it was literally like a 10-minute drive from his place to Fort Worth. So we're coming.
Since day one, what race have I told you got to come to?
Talladega. And I'm saving Talladega for when it's
Rusty have talked about this.
The fall weekend is going to be full blast and everybody's fucking going, dude.
When it's 100, when it's full capacity, 100%. I'm the first person in line.
Honestly, by fall they might be.
I think fall is going to be lit, dude. Everybody
that's come on my podcast has agreed we're all doing fall Talladega.
We're all doing fall Dega, big time.
Eric Estep, I think, even said it. Like we're all doing it.
We're talking about going hard for fall Dega. So if you need help, if you need to come, we got you, dude.
I'm crashing our So Rusty, if you come to Austin, I promise you got this spot because nobody else has claimed it yet. And not to be biased, but you're my favorite. So
this has been fun, man. I've had a blast.
Yeah, I love it, guys. Thank you.
We've had such a good time. All right. Well, thanks again, Rusty, and we will see you soon with more hot takes about the new NASCAR, whatever it's going to be called.
Hey.
Peace.